My final call as a police dispatcher has scarred me. So, this is police. Police dispatchers. Okay, first off, do you think you could do that job?
No. Honestly, fuck no, because it's like, honestly, you have to determine how much of a situation is actually necessary for the police.
Yeah. And then if it is, you have to actually know what the fuck to do.
Yeah, and you have to calm people down at the same time.
Yeah.
So like, that's not a job for me. That's not.
Alright, let's get into this. Alright. I've worked as a police dispatcher for 9 years of my life. It's a career that takes a level of mental fortitude that I don't think many possess. I used to hate saying stuff like always thought it sounded pretentious, but the truth is it takes a very special types of person to be willing to voluntarily listen to some of the things we have to hear every single day. Don't get me wrong, the job wasn't always grim, and it even had its decent moments. I've gotten enough decently funny drunk 911 call stories to last me several lifetimes. Though, the reality of my job was usually far darker. You know? This is like one of the things that I would like, really actually like.
The drunk calls?
Yeah. Or like, I know there's like a couple videos where it's like, I don't know if you heard the one where it's like, I think someone broke into my house. Oh, it ain't no man, it's a dog. And I hate dogs. Like, if it's a dog, it could be rabid, do not approach it. I'm approaching the rabid dog.
I've actually
It's like
heard that one.
Yeah, that one's fucking hilarious.
He made more where he said he ate a bunch of brownies and he could taste color and hear
Yeah.
hear whatever. It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah. And then at the end he's like, how did the dog get into your room? Oh, I installed the doggy door in case the puppy want to come in. Goodbye, sir. It's fucking amazing.
That shit
Like,
is
like on the daily, I like getting like random ass calls. Like that one time I was broken up with. Like, I want more shit like that.
like hey, I don't even know you, but you already broke up with me. The fuck? I want an explanation.
I didn't get a chance.
You didn't get a chance. We don't even know each other.
Oh, good.
You never know. You might.
Okay, here we go.
Fuck.
Okay. I understood that though, and felt I was more equipped to deal with anything the job could throw at me. I was right for a while. For years I had answered every call, always able to keep a steady head despite being faced with the horrific situations. My confidence in my ability to handle the job unwaveringly, until the final call I ever took as a police dispatcher. Alright. Dots.
Just thoughts.
Dots.
Is he red?
That's no.
No. He can't be a Pokemon master.
No.
It's
It's
too hard.
just a, police guy.
He's just police guy.
What's the officer? Jenny? Is it
Officer
Jenny?
Jenny? He's Officer Jenny.
Yeah, I think it's Jenny. Yeah, sure. Let's pretend for the rest of the story that it's actually Officer Jenny's last call.
Okay. Alright, you thrown all the seriousness out the window. Let's go. Let's do
Such a
this.
strong ass fucking like beginning, especially compared to like the last one, where it's like, oh, the cup trail incident. No, this one all right, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. No, you're not. What the fuck?
Shut the fuck up and read the story, you damn nerd.
I glanced at the time. That just, for fuck's sake.
Oh, okay.
Good. Think like, can you think like in all serious, just like, think of like fucking
Read
people dying.
Jenny's goddamn dialogue.
Fucking think of something dark. Dead puppies aren't much fun. They'll come when you call. They don't chase rules at all.
Oh fucking god. I'm gonna mute myself.
I glanced at the time displayed in the corner of my computer screen. 11:43. I yawned, leaning backward in my chair with my arms extended as I stretched my back. I'd been at the desk since 3 in the afternoon answering calls and dispatching officers as they were needed, which wasn't very often in this town. In a little port town, Washington, about an hour out of Seattle, and though we weren't familiar without a fair share of crime, our phones never rang off the hook, which meant a lot of free time for me. I was always okay with... Oh, hold up, I got a phone call. As I was okay with that, as soul-wrenching as many other calls could be, moments of respite? I've never heard that word in my life.
Respite?
Respite? Whatever, we're always more than welcome. A notification on my screen caught my attention, and in an instant, I had returned to my seat, headset on. 911, what's your emergency? I spoke in my headset automatically as any line repeated hundreds of thousands of times over can be spoken. For a moment, the line was dead silence before I heard a reply. I need a policeman. I think somebody is in my house. A child whispered from the other line. I felt the smallest of knots beginning in my stomach. I shifted in my seat. Do you know your address? I asked, adapting a firm but lighter tone in response to the caller's age. I heard shuffling and heavy breathing from the other end, followed by a faint wait. The caller returned, and their address... She was a little girl, by the sounds of her voice, and she sounded scared. Good job. Now, what about your phone number? The process repeated. I quickly relayed her information, dispatching officers. Her address was on the edge of town, a little out of the way, and I understood that it may be a while before help arrived. I stifled a sigh, not wanting to vocalize my worry as I received its estimated arrival time. Is there any adult with you in the house? I continued. No, the little girl replied breathlessly. I could hear the anxiety rising from her voice as if she spoke. My mom works late, and my sister, There was a pause, followed by an audible sniffle. She's camping with their friends, and somewhere on her end, there was a crash, then a scream. My heart dropped. Are you there? Are you alright? There was a repetitive thumping sound, followed by a slam of a door. I'm here, the little girl spoke breathlessly into her phone. Are you alright? I repeated the question. Yes, was all she replied. I barely above a whisper, her tone worried me. She sounded more afraid. Sad? No. Disturbed was the proper word for it. Then she began to cry, not quite as you would expect given the situation, but a deep, helpless sob that made my heart sink. When I spoke, it stopped altogether. Please, please, please help me. Her sobs turned into hysterical crying, and I could hear the loud, repetitive thumps from her end. Footsteps, and they were clearly not hers. They were heavy, far too heavy for a little girl. Without warning, a shrill cry, the sound of a microphone feedback rang through my headset. The sudden assault in my ears caused me to jump in my seat off the racing like a jackrabbit. I fought the instinct to throw a headset off, and instead clutching my eyes shut as the noise faded as suddenly as it had come. I saw it, she sputtered through the sobs. Oh please, please, I don't know what it is. The frantic and frenzied nature of her begging increased. Strangeness began to settle the air that couldn't quite a place. A quick glance at the room confirmed that most of the desks around me were empty, and I was on the call alone. Though it made me feel very isolated, and growing uneasiness continued to make hold of that I couldn't place. Something about the call just felt wrong. Police are on their way, I began. I tried to infuse the statement with several unusual levels of assertiveness and confidence, but I worried that the uneasiness may be audible in my voice. Can you tell me a name? I asked. Amber. Alright, Amber. Can you get somewhere safe? A room? A door you can lock? I'm in my room, she said, sniffles, and it was obvious that she had been crying profusely. I locked the door. Good. I'm gonna stay with you on the line. Is there anywhere for you to hide? The sound of the footsteps grew in the background as her voice lowered to a whisper. I think under the bed, she whimpered. Okay, is there... I paused, thinking about my words before continuing. Anything you can use to protect yourself. There was a silence on her end for a moment, followed by a hushed yes. As she dropped the phone, I assumed she got a weapon. Okay, let's stop. Okay. We've gone a bit too long without the funnies. This shit.
Well, like
This is...
Like, this is a story that could be true. Like, I'm not gonna lie. So
here's the thing. This isn't gonna matter. But here's the thing. This is a very A very intense feeling story already. Like this is the type of shit that like if I were in that situation, I would not know what to do. I'd be like, okay, so you want to find a shotgun, and then
You want to find a shotgun and become Doom Guy. You got that?
I would be like, have you tried calling the police? Wait, fuck.
He's like, fuck, I am the police. Shit. Anyone else here? No? Just Officer Jenny? Fuck.
Right? Like, goddamn. Jenny's been through some shit. And then here comes fucking Brock. And then it's just... Fuck me. Like, what the hell? Jesus.
Okay, this is kind of like an issue from the last story, like, but like, as soon as you call 911, say someone's in there, they're literally gonna tell you, hide somewhere, grab a weapon.
I think in this case, alright, you got a little girl that's like pretty much already hiding. So in this situation, what can you tell her?
Pray for whatever deity you believe in, but you
Right,
ain't
like-
gonna make it out.
Like it's kind of and there's like whatever the fuck is knocking down doors. Like it's probably just like some huge ass burly man or something like that. The clamor from within the house grew closer to the phone, and piercing ringing sounds had returned. I was almost certain there had been something wrong with my headset or with Amber's phone. The sound grew to almost an unbearable extent, matched only by deafening thuds from somewhere on the phone. It sounded too close. I could feel the hairs begin to rise on the back of my neck, and the ominous sense of panic gave way to unexplained fear. The urge to look over my shoulder grew harder to fight, as persistent thuddings grew louder, nearer. It all sounded too clear, I guess. There was no static, none of the white noise typical of a phone call. Nothing. Just the sounds of footsteps approaching closer, closer. I gave in to my instinct, whipping in my headset, nearly losing my headset. No one, I had no time to settle my nerves as Amber returned to the line. Are you there? She whispered, yanking me from my fog back into the moment. Yes, I replied. I struggled, shaking off my fears. Something was wrong with the situation. Despite my worries, I shifted my attention back to Amber. There isn't any weapon, the girl muttered, but I have something. There was a pause. Oh, okay. What do you have? I asked. I realized promptly my prompt was necessary. A rabbit. A pink rabbit, she said. And even over the phone, I could hear a little.
I don't have a weapon. I did try to search for it, but I have a weapon. I have a weapon.
If that shit's like Bugs Bunny, like she's safe, right?
Yes. Yes, but.
Okay.
I have a weapon. I have a weapon. I did find a weapon, but I have a weapon.
As soon as I heard that, as soon as I said that, I heard a fucking slam for your end.
A slam?
As a slam.
I
As
sounded
as
like a fucking just.
as soon as I say that, you're like, God, fucking stupid little girl.
You fucking dumbass! You fucking dumbass, man! With a fucking weapon! You better pray to God! It has like Looney Tunes logic! God, fuck!
Alright, here we go.
No!
No, what the? I'm trying to continue on.
She broke me! She got that fucking big rabbit! It was all fucking serious. I was about to say,
Like I think the situation is still pretty fucking serious, but it's all things considered.
Okay.
Okay.
Let me just say this. I was going to say before that, Officer Jenny could write a fucking book
Right.
of how well she's alliterating everything.
Right.
But like all of a sudden the little girl's like, I have a pink rabbit. I can't fucking hold it in because like
I will say this, well, fuck. Right. It's,
Right? It's a pink
yeah.
fucking rabbit, and she told you to defend yourself.
Uh, it is what it is. Maybe it's
Okay,
a bomb. My dad gave it to me when I was little, she sniffled. He said he would keep me safe. I didn't know what to say for a moment, but I didn't want to miss a beat. He was right, I said, encouragingly as I could. Everyone knows pink bunnies are great protection. Can you go back under? I was interrupted. Okay, so
so wait a minute. Hold up. I actually have another question. Do pink rabbits actually exist?
I don't think so, no.
Then what the? Oh, it's a stuff.
You're fucking stupid. It's, you thought she like had it just like an actual rabbit in her room?
Yes, that's why I was fucking laughing a lot. I thought it was an actual fucking rabbit. She actually got out the way, grabbed the fucking rabbit, and I was like, what?
I'm sorry. You hear the word pink rabbit and you're like, oh, fucking real ass rabbit. You're fucking dumber than this little girl. What the hell, man?
Shit.
I was interrupted. Amber, I miss you. I could hear a man call from within the house, so the intruder knew her. I furrowed my brow. Amber, do you recognize that voice? I was hoping she could identify the intruder. There was silence for a moment before her response. It sounds like my dad. Why does it sound like my dad? I blinked. What do you mean? That's my daddy's voice. Why did it have my daddy's voice? I didn't know how to respond. Hell, I didn't even know what to think about. Had his voice? Before I could ask what she meant, we were interrupted by sound. That thing we heard has taken me years to understand. I've come to believe it was the thing's laugh. At the time though, we couldn't know. It was the sound of metal crunching a car accident as it met flesh. A wet, grinding shriek that shook me to my core. I wanted to vomit, and my vision began to blur. I can only imagine what it was like for Amber, hearing it all in person. Amber? I panted, my senses returning to me all at once. She barely had time to respond before we heard it. Voices, calling for her from somewhere nearby. They spoke all as one, all within the same odd, inhumane nature, dripping with malintent. Amber. My blood froze. Amber began to cry, her cries eventually becoming pleas as she began. She begged for help, her life, her mother, my intervention. But 5 more minutes, just 5 more minutes, I murmured, mentally cursing the timer which displayed the estimated arrival time on the dispatcher officers. I prayed. It would soon be enough. It's outside my room, she whispered, her voice one of utter panic before breaking into a quiet sob. I silently swore under my breath. Amber, I need you to hide right now if possible. The police are 3 minutes away. Stay as quiet as possible. There was no response, but I assumed from the shuffling sounds I could hear that she had gone back under the bed. For a few moments, there was silence. Then Amber spoke, and my heart dropped. I'm gonna die. You are not gonna die, Amber. I began to worry. Now audibly in my voice, I promise. It's reaching under the door. Oh God, she muttered. There was a crash, louder than before, and Amber began to shriek. The noises continued, and it began to dawn on me that I was hearing. It was breaking down the bedroom door. Amber's scream had evolved into horror, babbling, and pleas for her life. Whatever was on the other side of the door, her screams were soon drowned out by the same noises as before. That sick, fucking laughter. What are you? Amber shrieked loud enough to make my ears ring. Please, what are you? What are you? It mocked in a voice that was in some sick parody of Amber's. Panic gripped at me as I glanced back at the corner in the monitor displaying the arrival time 1:36. Please, God, let it be soon enough. Amber? Are you there? I called. Amber? As suddenly as it had started, everything went silent. Somewhere in the distance I heard sirens. I hear them, Amber. Officers are a minute away. Silence. My heart began to sink. Amber? Are you there? I could hear something shifting, breathing. I think it's gone, Amber said. A surge of relief rolled through me. I let out a sigh and leaned back in the chair. 27, the dispatch road time, and the sirens in the background grew louder. You did well, Amber. Police were almost there. You did really well. I couldn't think of what else to say. I had never had a call like this, and something about it felt so strange. Something Amber had said began to read in my mind. What are you? Amber, I began. What did you see? I was met with silence. Amber. Amber began to laugh. Amber? I said in a pleading voice, a wave of realization crashing down on me. The laughter grew more... The fuck is this word? Rocious? I'm sorry. I don't...
Officer Jenny with the fucking illiterates, man.
I'd like to think that I'm pretty good at English.
Are you? English is
I've
stupid.
never seen this word before in my life. The laughter grew more raucous and less human with every second. Somewhere in the background, there was a knocking sound. They'd finally arrived too late. I asked the only thing I could think of the moment. Why? The laughter stopped abruptly as the thing on the phone spoke. It was fun. There was a click and the light went dead. The house was empty when officers arrived. No signs of forced entry anywhere except the door to Andrew's bedroom, the bottom of which had been torn away by something, leaving a wide space to crawl beneath. And Amber, or what was left of her, decorated the room. Whatever had been left there had been nothing left to identify it, only carnage. This case was officially closed, and everyone had theories to what happened that day, ranging from serial killers to bear attack or everything in between. That call was never made public. Not my decision, but not one I necessarily complained about either. I never wanted to hear that recording again. I put in my 2 weeks' notice at the same night, though I could never return to work after that day. I had been content to forget about that call. As callous as it may sound, I was content trying to forget about Amber, to forget whatever I heard spoken to on the phone. But I don't think it's done with me. Last night I dreamed, or thought I was dreaming, the sounds of footsteps running through my house. Something shrieked and laughed at mocking me outside my bedroom door. I stayed in my bed long into the morning despite the sounds having stopped, paralyzed by a mixture of fear and confusion until eventually I convinced myself to leave the bed. I crossed the room, cursing every creak in the floor made under my weight. I lowered myself to the ground, holding my breath as I peered under the bedroom door. There was something there, but it wasn't moving. I mustered up the little bravery I had and rose to my feet, my eyes shut tight and prayer on my lips. I pulled open the door slightly and stuck my head under enough to see what lay outside. A stifled gasp and tears flooded my eyes. I bent over to pick up the object. Placed raised in my head with a little bunny darts. For fuck's sake, we're so close, dude. There's one sentence left.
I'm sorry,
I apologize.
my girlfriend scared the shit out of me right now while you were reading the fucking story.
Good. We were almost done.
It was about to fucking throw myself at her.
Okay. Can I get through this sentence?
Are you okay, dude?
I'm fine.
Shut the fuck up, Angel.
Placed right outside my door was a little pink bunny, covered in dark stains from somewhere within the darkness, just beyond the bedroom door. Amber's laughter echoed. Okay, that's it.
Okay, Sebastian, how long were you here for?
No, he just got off. Hold on. There you go, done. I said, fuck's sake, we're almost done, so he got off the call. Okay, that's a story. And before anything, yes, this is fake.
Yeah, too wordy, obviously, too fucking.
This
wordy.
shit. Well, in my eyes, a police dispatcher would be like this,
Really?
especially like Officer Jenny. Yeah.
Obviously, Officer Jenny, but
Yeah,
not
so, like-
not any, not all though.
So obviously it's fake with them finding the fucking bunny outside their door, but still overall. Really, it was like, I think the beginning is fucking like stupid intense.
Yeah, they should just like weigh it in, just like I have a story
Like,
to tell that haunts me, and then just like tell it.
Like, admittedly, up until the point where it's like oh, he found the fucking bunny, I think it would have worked just fine. And it's actually very brutal when you think that her like blood and guts that were just like all over the room.
And then
For,
make public, like, dude.
Yeah, a lot of calls are never made public.
Yeah, but like it's a small town, like you said.
Yeah.
And there's like the cop. I'm fucking for sure the cop's gonna squeal eventually.
Maybe. But like, yeah, that was the story. My final day as a police officer, as a police dispatcher at Scarby. Um, I do like the story a lot. Outside of some things in the end,
Like,
you know.
as the story goes, it's fucking it gives you that creepy factor, that uneasiness
Yeah,
that's
it really
plus
makes you feel like fuck, I want to be there and do something, but like a police dispatcher, you're like, I can't do shit. I'm just here.
Uh,
That's all right. That's episode 2 done, right?
yes.
Hit him, hit him. She said somebody's in there. The next one.